Welcome back to the English Playbook, where we make mastering English as exciting as your favorite game. I'm David.
And I'm Sarah. Today, we're stepping up to the plate with something really special. We're diving into the world of baseball English.
That's right. And Sarah, I have to ask, did you just use a baseball expression there?
I absolutely did. Stepping up to the plate. See, we're already getting into it. But David, before we knock this episode out of the park, can you tell our listeners why baseball is so important for English learners?
Great question. You know, baseball isn't just America's national pastime. It's literally woven into how Americans speak. We use baseball expressions in business meetings, casual conversations, even in movies and TV shows.
Exactly. And here's the thing. You don't need to love baseball to benefit from this episode. Whether you're in a boardroom in Tokyo, a cafe in London, or studying for an English exam anywhere in the world, understanding these expressions will make you sound more natural and confident.
So today we're going to cover essential baseball vocabulary, explore how these terms are used in business and daily life, and give you plenty of examples so you can start using them immediately.
Are you ready to hit a home run with your English? Let's play ball.
All right, Sarah, let's start with the basics. For our listeners who might not be familiar with baseball, can you paint us a picture of what this game is all about?
Sure. Imagine two teams of 9 players each. One team tries to hit a ball and run around 4 bases to score points, while the other team tries to stop them. It sounds simple, but there's so much strategy involved.
And the cultural aspect is huge. Baseball games are social events. Families go together, friends meet up, people eat hot dogs and peanuts. There's even a famous song called Take Me Out to the Ball Game that everyone sings during the 7th inning stretch.
That's a great point. And this is why baseball language has become so embedded in American English. When something is part of the cultural fabric like that, the language naturally spreads into other areas of life.
Now, let's talk about the basic structure. Sarah, what did we learn about innings?
Right. So in soccer, you have 2 halves. In hockey, you have 3 periods. But in baseball, you have 9 innings. An inning is basically a period of play where both teams get a chance to bat and try to score points.
Perfect. And here's where it gets interesting for English learners. We often use innings metaphorically. For example, you might hear someone say, "We're in the bottom of the 9th inning of this project," meaning we're near the end and it's crunch time.
That's such a good example. It shows how sports language creates vivid mental pictures that everyone understands instantly.
Let's introduce our listeners to some key players on the field. Sarah, who's the most important player when the action starts?
The pitcher. This is the player who throws the ball toward the batter. And here's a fun vocabulary note. We say the pitcher winds up before throwing the ball.
I love this expression, to wind up, like winding up an old clock. The pitcher brings their arm back, coils up their body, and then releases all that energy in one powerful throw.
And we use wind up in everyday English too. You might wind up a toy, or you might say, I wound up working late last night, meaning you ended up doing something, often unexpectedly.
Now, let's dive into some essential baseball vocabulary that you'll hear not just at the ballpark, but in offices, schools, and casual conversations across America.
First up, the national anthem. Before every baseball game and most sporting events in America, everyone stands and sings the national anthem.
And listeners, this is important cultural knowledge. If you're ever at an American sporting event, you'll want to stand respectfully during this moment. It's a sign of respect and patriotism.
Now, let's talk about what happens when the batter tries to hit the ball. David, what's a line drive?
A line drive is when the batter hits the ball hard and low, so it travels in almost a straight line close to the ground. It's a really good hit because it's hard for the fielders to catch.
And when the fielders see a line drive, they start scrambling to get the ball. This is such a useful verb. To scramble means to move quickly, but in a somewhat disorganized way.
Right, like if you're running late for work, you might scramble to get ready. Or if there's a last-minute change at work, the whole team might scramble to meet the new deadline.
Here's another scenario. Imagine you're at a restaurant and they announce free dessert for the next 5 minutes. Everyone would scramble to place their orders.
I'd definitely be scrambling for that free dessert. Now, let's talk about the people who make the game fair, the umpire.
The umpire is like the referee in other sports. They make the important decisions, safe or out, ball or strike. They're the authority figure who keeps the game fair and moving.
And in business English, we sometimes refer to someone as an umpire when they're making neutral decisions between competing parties, like in negotiations or disputes.
Now we're getting to the really exciting part, how baseball has influenced business English. David, these expressions are everywhere in American business culture.
Absolutely. Let's start with one everyone needs to know. Up to bat or up at bat. In baseball, this means it's your turn to try to hit the ball. But in business?
In business, if someone says, Sarah, you're up to bat, it means it's my turn to present, speak, or take action on something. It's a friendly, informal way to say your turn.
Exactly. You might hear this in meetings. Okay, team, we've heard from marketing and sales. Now, David, you're up to bat. Tell us about the IT department's progress.
Here is another huge one. Strike one, strike two, strike three, you're out. In baseball, you get 3 chances to hit the ball. Miss all 3 and you're out.
And this translates perfectly to real life. Parents use it with children. That's strike 1, young man. 2 more and you're grounded. Or in performance reviews. This is your second strike. We need to see improvement.
It's such an effective communication tool because everyone immediately understands the consequences. There's a clear progression and a final outcome.
Now, let's talk about curveball. This is brilliant. In baseball, a curveball is a pitch that looks like it's going straight, but then curves at the last second. It's designed to confuse the batter.
And in business or daily life, when someone throws you a curveball, they're giving you an unexpected problem or surprise that's difficult to handle.
Perfect example. I was ready for my presentation, but then my boss threw me a curveball and asked me to present the budget numbers instead. It's something that comes out of left field. Oh, wait, that's another baseball expression.
See how naturally these expressions flow in English? Out of left field means something totally unexpected or unusual.
And then we have the ultimate success term, home run. In baseball, this is when you hit the ball so well that you can run all the way around the bases and score.
In business, a home run means a huge success. Sarah's presentation was a home run. The clients loved it and signed the contract immediately.
Let's put all this together with some realistic scenarios. Sarah, imagine you're in a team meeting discussing a challenging project.
Perfect. Here's how it might sound. Okay, team, we've had a few strikes with this client already. The first proposal was rejected, and they had concerns about our timeline. David, you're up to bat now. Can you present the revised strategy?
Thanks, Sarah. I know they threw us some curveballs with those last-minute changes, but I think we can still hit a home run with this new approach. We just need to make sure we're all on the same team and cover all our bases.
Did you catch all those expressions, listeners? Threw us some curveballs, unexpected problems, hit a home run, achieve great success, on the same team, working together, cover all our bases, make sure we handle everything important.
And that last one, cover all your bases, comes from making sure all the bases in baseball are protected. In business, it means being thorough and not missing anything important.
Here's another scenario. Imagine you're talking to a friend about job hunting. I've been scrambling to find a new job. I thought I had a sure thing with that tech company, but they threw me a curveball in the final interview.
What happened?
They asked me technical questions that were totally out of left field. I struck out completely. But I'm not giving up. I've got 3 more interviews lined up, and I'm confident one of them will be a home run.
Notice how naturally these expressions flow. They add color and emotion to the conversation in a way that formal language simply can't match. Now, let's talk about the cultural context that makes these expressions so powerful. Sarah, why do Americans connect so strongly with baseball metaphors?
It's fascinating, isn't it? Baseball represents some core American values: teamwork, individual achievement, fair play, and the idea that everyone gets their turn. When we use baseball language, we're tapping into these shared cultural memories.
Exactly. And here's something interesting for our international listeners. While these expressions are deeply American, they're used in international business all the time because American business culture has such global influence.
That's so true. I've heard executives from European and Asian companies use these expressions in English meetings. It's become part of global business English.
Let me share a few more advanced expressions quickly. Batting 1,000 means you're perfect, successful in everything. Struck out means you failed completely. In the ballpark means approximately correct or reasonable.
And here's a cultural tip. Americans often use these expressions without even thinking about baseball. They become so integrated into the language that they're just natural ways to express ideas about success, failure, teamwork, and challenge.
One more advanced tip. You can combine these expressions for even more impact. We've been in the minor leagues with this project, but this new strategy could move us to the big leagues. Minor leagues are lower-level professional teams. Big leagues are the major professional teams.
Wow, David, we've really covered a lot of ground today, from basic baseball vocabulary to sophisticated business expressions.
We absolutely have. And listeners, remember, you don't need to become a baseball expert to use these expressions effectively. Just start incorporating one or two into your conversations and see how natural they begin to feel.
Practice makes perfect. Try using up to bat in your next meeting, or describe an unexpected problem as a curveball. Your colleagues will notice your more natural, confident English.
And remember, these expressions work in both formal and informal settings. You can use them with friends, in business meetings, even in academic presentations.
Before we wrap up, here's your homework. Listen for these baseball expressions in movies, TV shows, or conversations this week. You'll be amazed at how often you hear them once you know what to listen for.
Thanks for joining us on the English Playbook today. Remember, mastering English isn't just about grammar and vocabulary, it's about understanding the culture and expressions that make you sound like a native speaker.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep playing, and remember, with English, you're always up to bat for success.
We'll see you next week for another exciting episode. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.